Oh, that you need to be crazy. There is something wrong with you. Absolutely, go to therapy. There is something wrong with you. And that's very frightening, because it's not like, oh my God, I broke a bone. I go to the doctor, I have a fix. Or I have a terrible, stomach infection. Or I need to operate my appendix. You fix it. But this has got to do with the mind. And that's very scary. There's something wrong with me in my head. That's frightening. And so that is the biggest myth. No, there is nothing wrong with you. Actually, welcome to the human condition. You are normal. We all have issues. We all have stuff. It's part of being human. Anybody that doesn't have issues and stuff is not in this earth. It's somewhere flapping wings, It's not a human being. In the human condition, we have stuff. And psychotherapists, counselors, and many healers are there to help on that journey. Oh, that's a beautiful question. It would have no purpose, absolutely no purpose for me to be a psychotherapist, a counselor, and support and guide and teach other people if I'm unable to apply it to myself. So my best friend is my breath. It's my breath. I work a lot with my breath, but at this stage, it has become very natural, very spontaneous. So if you would have observed me closely when I sat here, when I arrived, I took several deep breaths, and it's to release the tension, because it's natural. Of course, I'm going to be here for you, I'm going to do this interview. I do have tension, although I feel fairly confident, but I do have tension. And it's how to use that for my benefit rather than against me. So I cope with it by using my breath, mindfulness meditation, by being when I'm under stress rather than doing, which is the temptation. When we are under stress, we want to do more things to get away from it, but actually we add on to the stress. So I apply what I teach, what I guide people with. Essential for effective psychotherapy is the relationship between the client and the psychotherapist, the counselor. That is the most fundamental thing, the relationship that is built. That the counselor, the psychotherapist is able to create an atmosphere of trust, of comfort, non-judgment, empathy, unconditional positive regard, and that the person, the individual, feels safe, non-judged, able to open and to be able to relate to that individual. That is more important than anything that the professional may know in terms of therapies, practices, with them many. That relationship is fundamental. And that in itself can be profoundly healing. I love to work with addictions, but I'm very focused on the type of addictions. I work with alcohol in recovery, and I work with sex addiction. I don't do gambling, I don't do internet, and many other addictions. Let's say eating disorders or stealing or things of that nature. I like anything that is existential, very much. An individual that says, I've got everything, but I'm empty. I got the best job, I have a fabulous wife, and I have a hole inside. I have 2 lovely children, a perfect husband, and I'm not happy. I love existential issues, I'm good at it. I again, it all goes back not only to the studies, my own experiences. Anything related to work, I love to work with senior people that are managing other people. I was in the corporate world for 18 years and I have that. Then I lived in an ashram with absolutely nothing. People who had never worked a day in their lives, really, never worked a day in their lives. They've been in the spiritual journey all their lives. These two extremes, the one seeking success and money and the one seeking spirituality and illumination, completely different worlds. So I can relate extremely well to that, and I have the tools to be able to support them in relating to themselves, relating to their peers, managing people. I like to work with young people, but when I mean young people above 17, when they are developmentally mature, intellectually at a certain point. Below that is a different area of expertise, and it's not something that I deal with. There are brilliant people who specialize in children and teenagers. I like to work very much with anxiety, with depression, with burnout. I enjoy that, and I am very comfortable supporting somebody in deep pain. I can empathize with the pain, I can feel their pain with them, but I'm also able to help them to go and progress through that pain so that they can liberate themselves and they can find some form of peace within and control. Because that's what we are made of. It's like the air we breathe. How to live without it, how to function without love, how to be human without it. If we have no air, we die. If we have no love, we also die. We may not die physically, we die inside. We shrink like a raisin without love. And what is not love? Love is not a thing that we trade with. Love is not something that we trade with, and yet we trade with it. Therefore, it is not love. We put love conditional. We give conditionality to it. And it's part of our human condition. I'll do this for you if you would love me, or I'll do anything for you to love me. That's part of our human condition, but it's in essence, it's a force, it's an energy that lives, exists within each and every one of us. Therefore, I absolutely believe in the goodness of humankind. We all have the potential to be bad. But it's not because we are bad, it's because we become bad. Not in essence, but in what we do. We are capable of doing bad things. It does not make us bad people. And that can be changed if the individual can see it and is willing. 6 tips on how to become self-actualized. Self-actualized. They go together, they go together, part of each other. You can't be self-actualized if you are not sex-actualized. That would mean that you are actualized in some part, but you're not fully actualized. Because when you say self-actualization, what I hear is saying, to become the best that I can be and be at ease with it. And that means the whole of me. Mind, body, spirit, emotions. Yeah? So tips. I will say, okay, I'll give you 4 and I'll make them up along the way. Because those are important things. Number 1, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is my life as I want it to be? If the answer is no, maybe begin to look at it. Take a deep breath and ask, am I the best that I can be? If the answer is no, then maybe it's time to say, maybe I can look at myself and see what can I work different. Take a deep breath and ask, are my relationships how I trend them to be, how I would like them to be? If the answer is no, then it's time to look at it. So, and the fourth one is to say, who am I? Am I the person I envisage I would become? If the answer is no, it's time to look at it.